Hallihallo, meine kleinen Wölfchen da draußen. Weiter geht es mit Vampyr, dem LP Remaster. Jo, so, dann, ja, wir haben jetzt ein bisschen was zu tun. Hauptsächlich Dialoge erstmal führen. Doktor, es ist eiskalt hier. Ja, ich komme ja schon, falls ihr mich meint. Ja, ab ins Alltagsleben der Nachtschicht. Bin ja schon da, was ist denn los?
Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
A crisis, you say?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but...
Sorry, there's nothing here.
Some of the patients won't last the night without them. Honestly, sir, I'm beside myself.
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drugs shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke, and space is luxury we don't have. Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Perhaps I should look there first. Where is this morgue?
It's the large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been sealed off for sanitary reasons. Take this key. It opens a small back entrance at the end of a narrow street.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. A small door at the end of a narrow street. On my way then. Thank you, nurse.
Yes, Doctor?
Exactly how bad is the supply situation here at Pembroke?
It really depends. Dr. Swansea deftly works his society contacts for monies, but with the quarantine, well, we're in God's hands.
Gottes Hand, dann seid ihr verloren.
Why then do you always work the nights? Don't you ever sleep?
At the Pembroke, we're always hands on deck.
Man kann nicht mehr als 100% geben.
Your dedication to the Pembroke does you credit, Nurse Crane, but when do you sleep?
We staff get our sleep when we can, Doctor. Nursing is a vocation, not the labor of a journeyman.
Lack of sleep and the medical profession always ends in disaster. I've witnessed many a colleague succumb to stimulants to fight exhaustion. Drugs were as deadly as bullets in the trenches.
London's trenches start here at Pembroke Hospital. We are on the front line, make no mistake.
Please, could you point me in the direction of the morgue again?
It's the large boarded-up building behind the hospital. You can't miss it. The key I gave you will open the small back door to it.
So, gut.
That's all for
Dialog
now, Nurse
geführt.
Crane, thank you.
Jetzt müssen wir noch mit den restlichen Leuten quatschen, um mehr herauszufinden. Entweder über die Situation oder über Leute. Dazu muss ich auch jeden Raum durchwühlen. Sofern ich
I
kann.
cannot enter.
Da. Also von der Farbe her ist es quasi unser anderer Mantel, oder? Ne, der hat kein Muster. Das ist einfach nur ein Blau. Und dann das Braune drüber. Ist quasi ein Kutschermantel oder wie auch immer man das nennen soll. Ich habe so einen Lammleder, komplett in schwarz. Bei Wind nervig. Dann halt nicht.
It's locked.
It's locked. Zwei Treppen führen hoch. Aber wir kommen glaube ich noch nicht rein, ne? Falls man überhaupt jemand hier jemals hineingekommen ist. Ja. Zunge wird wach. Hast lang genug geschlafen. Austricksen ist auch nicht. Schade. Durchs Fenster. Sims-Kletterei. Na, nee, das kann er nicht. Von da sind wir gekommen. Okay. Na dann. Hier sind viele Leute. Jetzt wird viel geschnattert. Verschlossen. Langer Brief. Piper Hawkins. Aha. Das wird uns ja für Dialoge immer hilfreich sein. Es eilt ja nicht. Es eilt. Was? Krankenhaus ist voll. Definiert voll.
I managed to arrange to have you buried in the same mass grave as your wife. I hope that might help.
So. Wir müssen noch hier bleiben. Ne, war bloß grafisch. Wollte schon sagen, hä, hat da gerade was geschimmert? Hier hat was geschimmert. Öffentliche Bekanntmachung, ja, ich würde sagen, das Übliche. Ja, Schmiermittel, Schrauben. Was sie nicht alles wegschmeißen? So. Rein hier wieder. Oh, mein Rücken. Ich habe wirklich zu lang geschlafen. Oh.
Yes, Doctor?
Nix.
That's all for now, Nurse Crane. Thank you.
Sorry.
Damn. The pain. It's here again.
Sehr interessant. Okay, nichts Hilfreiches hierfür. Thomas Elwood. Dorothy. Hier war gerade noch eine andere Krankenschwester. Lul.
Disgust on every street.
John Hampton. So.
It's locked, all right.
Na dann.
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, sir, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
Ihr Leben in London, persönliche Fragen. Erstmal das Leben in London fragen. Über Tom Watts.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
Verzweiflung?
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
Sie waren in William Bishops Versteck.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the Dockers' trade union. The Wet Boot Boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Stimmt, was ist eigentlich mit dem Cox
I've had this
passiert?
nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
Okay. Persönliche Fragen. Wie fühlen Sie sich?
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness.
Madness.
Empty.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest. And then I can go back to the people who need me.
Was machen Sie beruflich? Priester wahrscheinlich. Schon Freunde gefunden? Ja.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks. And I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really, but I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke? Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
Okay.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later.
Hoffentlich hat uns das weitergebracht. Normalerweise... Halt, wo willst du hin?
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
Grund für Ihre Verletzung, hat er doch gesagt. Eine Granate.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Ja, ich glaube, da hat dein Körper sich mittlerweile gegen eingestellt. Das ist nämlich eine der Probleme, wenn man dauerhaft Schmerzmittelkonsument ist wegen Schmerzen. Irgendwann, ja, wirkt es nicht mehr, weil der Körper sich dran gewöhnt hat. Und dann braucht man immer Stärkeres und Stärkeres und Stärkeres. Aber irgendwann gibt es halt nichts mehr. Und dann hat man so richtig die Arschkarte gezogen. Mittlerweile tun Ärzte nämlich keine wirklichen Therapien mehr machen. Die verschreiben einfach nur noch Medikamente nach Verdacht, nicht nach Gewissheit. Und ja, da hat man dann als Patient dann einfach nur noch irgendwann die Arschkarte.